Live at 11, this is KGW, Northwest News Channel 8's Weekend Edition.
The slow counting process is wearing on Washington's 3rd Congressional District candidates, and the frustrating wait is starting to show in voters, too.
Actually, I would have liked to have known earlier, sure.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Roy.
And I'm Shannon Brinius. More absentee vote tallies are coming in tonight, giving incumbent Linda Smith an even greater edge over her 3rd District opponent, Brian Baird. The margin's fewer than 900 votes. With the race too tight to call, both Smith and Baird are in Washington, D.C., learning the job only one of them can hold.
It's the trip every congressional candidate dreams of making. But as the freshman class of representatives unloads at the Capitol for orientation, Democrat Brian Baird's the one unsure if he belongs. Unofficially declared an early victor in Washington's 3rd Congressional District race, Baird now trails incumbent Linda Smith. Absentee votes have made the difference.
It's not that we were not aware of the absentee vote. We're perfectly aware of it. But we just didn't have the firepower.
Earlier this week, the Republican frontrunner was optimistic the votes would keep coming in her way. But she acknowledges the waiting's excruciating.
If you went to the dentist and they said it was going to take 2 weeks to pull this tooth and come in each day, that's what it would feel like.
The wait's hard not just on the candidates, but also on the electorate.
I'd like to see it over and done with.
With absentee ballots, it's hard. I don't know how they could do it faster. They could start counting them as soon as they get them instead of waiting till Election Day.
We got to get the votes right. We don't want to make a premature announcement and have it be wrong.
So that's why the man who's trailing in votes is getting a step ahead in Washington.
I'm not in that stage of looking for a place to stay yet. I'm mostly making sure we have the lay of the land, that we work on the committee assignments, that I build the kind of relationships that will allow us to function.
Baird's angling for a spot on the House Resources Committee, the same committee Linda Smith sat on last year.
The latest vote tally includes Clark County's final batch of 3,000 votes. Then it's up to Thurston County, which says it'll release its final 1,600 votes on Wednesday. If the margin of victory is less than 1,200 votes, there will be an automatic recount.
Texaco's settlement doesn't matter to the Reverend Jesse Jackson. He's still calling for a nationwide boycott of the company. Picket lines were set up at Texaco stations from New York to Los Angeles today. This comes even though the company agreed to a $176 million discrimination settlement. Minority leaders say the settlement is not proof of a cultural change at Texaco.
We want them to tell us concretely how they are going to deal with the racial discrimination pattern of no executives of color, only one member of the board, their advertising policy, and their franchise agreement.
Civil rights leaders say they will keep up the pressure until they see positive changes in Texaco's attitude toward minorities. The Texaco boycott has its supporters here in the Northwest, but from what we could tell today, it looks like local Texaco stations are still getting business, even though this company-owned station here on Northeast Broadway. But in light of the racist charges against Texaco executives, some are finding new places to fill up.
Our credentials is what should speak for us, not the color of our skin. And in America, that's not happening. That is not happening. And I deplore racism. I just cannot tolerate it. And Texaco can do all the talking they want. It's a lot of lip service.
Local Texaco owners and station managers declined to talk with the News Channel about the boycott.
Washington State offered an unusual amnesty to in-state drivers whose cars have out-of-state plates. This was Clean Slate Day, a chance for motorists to pay for new tabs without paying a penalty because they were late. Washington State tax collectors say they're losing millions of dollars each year in revenue because motorists aren't paying their license fees.
And then when I asked them 5 years ago how much it would cost me to switch it over, it was like $550. And that was about 5 years ago. So this is a good deal.
The biggest problem is we have people that are moving in from Oregon. We have a large influx, probably 4 times the national average, into Clark County. Those people want to wait until that $35 licensing expires. They want to push it back as far as they can.
The lines were long all day at the State Patrol, which says it's preparing to crack down on violators in a new program starting Monday.
2 Oregon State University fraternity brothers remain in critical condition tonight following a car accident that claimed another member's life. Matthew Kroll was killed in that accident. He was 19. Brian Sunada, who is 20, and 18-year-old Scott Cunard are in critical condition at a Corvallis hospital. 3 other fraternity members were treated and released. Investigators say a van carrying 7 fraternity brothers hit a utility pole early this morning. It happened here on Highway 99, about 2 miles south of Corvallis. Police say the driver was driving recklessly and lost control of the van. They also say he was not driving drunk. He's charged with manslaughter and reckless driving. The driver was not injured. A man is under arrest tonight for trying to hold up a Portland bank. The suspect's name and details of the robbery are not being released, but we do know he walked into a bank at Southeast 82nd and Foster around noon today. He did something that tipped the bank guards off. They held him for police, and the FBI questioned him later downtown and placed him under arrest.
A man who kidnapped his ex-wife and drove her to Nevada is now pleading guilty. In July, Michael Vincent Collin broke into his ex-wife's apartment in Beaverton and kidnapped her and the couple's 3 children at gunpoint. As part of a plea agreement, Collin will be sentenced to 15 years in prison. His father received the same sentence for helping in the kidnapping. Meanwhile, a woman has confessed to bludgeoning her 80-year-old grandmother to death with a claw hammer. A tearful Colleen Black pleaded guilty yesterday to charges of aggravated murder and theft. Last May, she killed her grandmother, Hazel Clemens, in southeast Portland. Black says she wanted her inheritance to support her drug and alcohol addiction.
A Clark County police officer is accused of raping a child. Sergeant William Rivera is behind bars this weekend awaiting his first court appearance. He's shown here as he escorted child killer Wesley Allen Dodd into court in 1991. Yesterday, police in Ridgefield arrested Rivera. They say he raped a child, but provide no more details than that. Rivera will be arraigned Monday morning. A train jumps the tracks in Arizona today. At least 1 person is dead. We'll have the latest in a moment.
It was supposed to be the first step in landing a man on Mars. Now it appears to be a bust just hours into the mission. We'll have the story.
This edition of News Channel 8 is closed captioned through a generous grant from Safeway. Nobody does it better for less.
Introducing another first for News Channel 8. We've expanded our Skycam coverage of the Northwest to include the first Skycam in Salem. See it live from our new Northwest Skycam in Salem at the Capitol Mall, only on Northwest News Channel 8.
I'm Rasheed Wallace of the Portland Trailblazers. Watch me on must-see basketball on Northwest News Channel 8.
The Blazers put the brakes on the Indiana Pacers Sunday at 4:30 on KGW, Northwest News Channel 8.
Kink Radio's Cindy Hansen visits a priest.
Do you have something to tell me, my child?
Well, yes, Father. I like the Beatles' Anthology 3 better than the Anthology 1 album.
What?
I know Anthology 1 has more actual songs on it, but Anthology 3 really gives you an insight into their creative process.
Don't you have anything troubling to confess?
Well, I do think Natalie Merchant is better as a solo artist than she was with 10,000 Maniacs. Is that so wrong?
More and more Americans buy computers at CompUSA than ever before. Now, CompUSA is making it easier than ever with a brand new superstore in Portland. 5,000 products at guaranteed low comp prices. All the latest internet technology, computing on the go, and a whole area just for kids. You can even try software before you buy. Grand opening is Friday and Saturday at 8 a.m. with gifts, rebates, and special values, including this Packard Bell PLT65 computer for just $1699.99 after $200 instant rebate. Only at the new CompUSA Computer Superstore in Portland.
How do you take the best-selling import in its class and help even more people get into it? Simple. From now until December 31st, you can lease a Volvo 850 sedan for only $299 a month. Drive safely.
A freight train derailed in a remote area of Arizona today, killing 1 man. It also caused a minor